On this 7th anniversary of 9/11, 7 of Minnesota's military members will be honored for their service. These soldiers all joined the Army after the terrorist attacks in 2001. One of those being honored today is Sergeant Christian Poole. Good morning, Christian. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you.
We all were affected by 9/11, but you went one step further and joined the Army. What went through your mind and why did you want to do that?
I wanted to play a bigger part and to protect this nation and also be a part of the Minnesota National Guard, which is my home. So,
what do you think of this honor that you're going to be receiving today with the other soldiers?
I'm sorry, can you say that one more time?
What do you think of this honor that you're going to be receiving today with these other soldiers? What were you thinking when you were told you were going to be honored this way?
I was totally surprised. It feels really good. It's a great welcome home. I'm really proud of the Minnesota Military Appreciation Fund for what they do. It's a great feeling.
How does this Military Appreciation Fund make a difference, you think, for soldiers?
For one thing, it helps. It's a couple bucks is a great thing for the soldiers when they come home, and it's just a great welcome home in many ways, and I think it just makes them feel really good.
What are other ways we can, as a community, support people like you who are doing so much for our country?
I'm sorry, can you say it one more time?
Sure. What can the community do to support people like you who are doing so much for our country?
I guess just being their friend. Just treating them like people, just like anybody else, and just shake their hand, say thank you. I think that's the biggest thing. We love it.
Okay, we thank you, Sergeant, very much for joining us this morning, and thank you for your service as well.
Thank you.
At the state capitol today, several Purple Heart recipients from the Minnesota National Guard received grants from the Minnesota Military Appreciation Fund. The fund is a way to say thanks to soldiers who spent time in combat zones and to the families of soldiers who don't make it back home.
On the 7th anniversary of the September 11th attacks, a special way to say thank you to our military personnel. Organizers of Minnesotans Military Appreciation Fund awarded cash grants to 7 soldiers. The grants range from $500 to $8,000. A spokesman for the organization says it's a small gesture for such a big sacrifice.
I think it's support like this that helps my mom deal with having 3 sons in the Army, all of which have served or are currently serving in the combat zones.
Since it launched in 2005, the Minnesotans Military Appreciation Fund has given away more than $4 million to Minnesota soldiers.
Here at home, the memorials span from Bloomington to Winona.
And one in Coon Rapids, it's going from sunrise to sunset. Here's KARE 11's John Croman.
In the 7 years since 9/11, bridges have become a platform to express opinions. On this anniversary, on this bridge in Coon Rapids, the message was gratitude.
I wanted to do it for all the soldiers that have sacrificed their lives and the ones that are still fighting for our country. I figured this is the least I could do to honor them.
Those soldiers include Stacy's husband, Sergeant William B.J. Beardsley, who died in action last year in Iraq.
He called me in the hospital to make sure I was doing okay before he left for the mission. Tell me he loved me, to tell the kids he said hi, and he would call me when he got back to post.
At the Capitol, Minnesota Iraq War veterans, 7 in all, became the latest to receive cash grants from the Minnesota Military Appreciation Fund.
This really makes coming home a lot easier. I'd also like to thank my family for being so strong during all the hard times.
The son of the late Gene Sitt accepted an award from the National Guard recognizing the Chinese immigrant who created the grant program for soldiers and their survivors.
And I, being the constant realist, I said, you know, this will cost a lot of money. And he said, well, here's the first $1 million.
In downtown St. Paul, firefighters marked the occasion outside the Landmark Center. Nearby sat a pumpered ladder truck used by a New Jersey crew that fateful day at the World Trade Center.
It is still very difficult to look back to that tragic chain of events without a deep sense of tremendous loss.
Today's dose of healing included a climb up to the clock tower where firefighters affixed a large yellow ribbon. Back on the bridge over Highway 10, the honking horns heartened a war widow.
It gives me goosebumps after I hear so many of them. It's like so many people really do care.
Almost on cue, the symbol of our nation soared above.
It's amazing.
Today's anniversary events also included a memorial service for Tom Burnett Jr. down in Bloomington. He was among those in Flight 93 who sacrificed their lives to thwart the hijackers and crash that plane in Pennsylvania. Back to you.
John Croman in St. Paul tonight. Thank you, John.
At a special ceremony at the state capitol rotunda in St. Paul, a show of appreciation for those fighting overseas since 9/11. 7 Purple Heart recipients were awarded cash grants from the Minnesotans Military Appreciation Fund. The group says it is a small way to thank the brave Minnesotans who have sacrificed to serve our country.
A grant that should be so much larger. This is a token grant, but it's something that's showing the people, and it's showing you how much we appreciate what you have done.
Since the fund was created back in 2005, more than $4 million has been donated to Minnesota's military families.